Hello, my name is Alun, and today I'm facilitating another session in a longish series of my nearing the end of development PbtA game of heroes, Dark Age heroes confronting various aspects of a darkness and protecting innocent people from circumstances. And we've been playing this for a while, so I'm not going to, we're not going to do introductions. You can go back and see those at the very start. What I will say is that this game was organized as part of the Open Hearth gaming community monthly calendar. If you'd like to know more about Open Hearth, then please just search Open Hearth gaming community and come play with us, because we enjoy playing online. And it brings in people from all over the world, as we will discover in a bit. So last time you successfully revealed the nature of the darkness in the settlement, the hill country, the hill tribe settlement of Chichester. And we will be leaving there shortly and seeing where your gods guide your footsteps. But before that, we need to resolve a love letter involving a character who couldn't be here last time, but can be here this time. And so, Jose, dear Finn, we know that you continue to protect the rest of the heroes from the wolf pack outside Chichester. Say how you did that and how that hit an XP trigger.
Okay. Let's see. So last time we saw Finn, he had deposed the alpha of that wolf pack and then ran off to deal with the rest of the pack. I think we see a scene of Finn approaching the pack in his wolf form, kind of snarling, and they're all showing some sort of submission and gather around him. And then we see a shot of Finn's ripped clothes abandoned in the mud somewhere. And then there's a cut. And then we see a stag raising its head in alarm, and it flees into the forest, and the pack is giving chase with Finn taking the lead. Kind of blurred shots of hooves on leaves and furry outlines darting through trees, things like that. But then Finn bursts into a clearing, but the light has suddenly turned into kind of a strange twilight, and his wolf brethren are nowhere to be seen. And he looks around warily, and he sees a young man with long red hair and facial tattoos sitting cross-legged on a tree stump with his eyes closed, kind of meditating. And for a moment, it appears like the man has antlers sprouting from his head, but then the image shifts a little bit, and it reveals that it's just the branches of the trees behind him. And on the ground in front of him are Blackgel's cudgel, Solinus's bow, and Cadoc's sword. And Finnwolf kind of sniffs at these objects, and then he bows his head in resignation and looks over his shoulder longingly at the pack that he has now lost track of. And the camera zooms into his eye and then pulls out again to reveal Finn in human form in a different forest on a moonlit night. And he's naked and filthy and crouching, hidden in some underbrush, and he's watching Cadoc, who is tending a small fire, while Blackgel sleeps nearby. And with a sigh, Finn steps forward into the circle of light and stumbles as Cadoc stands to catch his fall. And he has returned.
I don't care which XP trigger that hits, you get an XP for that.
I think it was the longing one that I was going for.
Yeah. No, we certainly saw the influence of your burden there.
Yeah. And then I think there's a roll that I have to make as well for the
well, exactly. So
yes.
So we know the start and end of this. We know what happened when you were when you came into the presence of this strange young man who may or may not have been Cernunnos. And we know how you stumble back into the camp of the other heroes. I guess what I want you to do is to say what you did after, so between those two things. And you may want to lean into something that could create fictional positioning for one or two of the options below, because there's a potential here to get a trophy, an insight, or to clear a debt to your god. I think we've already got fictional positioning for clearing a debt to your god, but if this roll goes well, I need to know what you do, and then I'll ask you to roll with a relevant attribute. So what do we do? What happens after Cernunnos, maybe,
Maybe.
reminds you of you have some duties, and
Duties,
then you get back into the
saddle, so
camp.
to speak. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I think that was clearly, I think I was trying to create fictional positioning for the clear one debt to your supernatural patron. And then, so you're saying that I might want to set up something in case I get a 10
In
plus,
case you
right?
get a 10, exactly.
um, I think it might be gain an insight, because I tried to play it so that it would is it Cernunnos, or is it Ivan, or is it some mixture of the two? And so I know Ivan isn't here today, but so I was thinking that maybe it would be gain an insight, the relevance of which will only become clear at some later date.
Fine. Then it sounds like soul to me. All of these are different aspects of that sense of the supernatural and yourself and the world around you. So I think roll plus soul.
Okay, then that brings up a sequence question for me with the mechanics. I just got an XP, which
Yeah,
is going to put me to an advance, which
yeah.
I was going to put into soul. Is that
Then
there?
that's fine, because the episode says and mark XP.
Okay.
So
All
yeah,
right.
consequences happen. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now I have to find the roll dice. Okay.
The link, you got it. It's the
Got it.
link is in the safety and links tab.
Ready to go. I'm just rolling 2 dice, and then I'll add my soul. So I rolled a 5, plus my soul, which is 3, would be an 8.
There we go. So on a 7 or 8, choose one of those options.
I'll clear the debt to the patron. I think that's the most relevant one.
Fine. So clear one debt you owe your supernatural patron. Thank you.
Got it.
And then you stumble into the camp,
Yeah.
and the other two wake to find Ivan has gone. He appeared last time. You knew Solinus was leaving. Solinus left kind of in narrative terms yesterday, but Ivan, you'd expected Ivan to be here, but he mysteriously appeared, and he has mysteriously disappeared. We may find out where he went next time when I write a love letter for him. But I think there is now that opportunity to bid farewell to Caicester formally. So we're looking at the arriving and leaving tab, and the leaving moves. A grateful farewell. Even if the settlement is glad to be rid of them, each hero clears all wearied or wounded condition boxes. So if you have any wearied or wounded, clear them. If dying is marked,
I'm not dying. I'm not.
That's quite remarkable given your track record to date. Is any one of you at the moment got dying mark? No, you're looking pretty cool at the minute, actually. So that's irrelevant. Then you leave Caicester. Okay. They will owe you a debt, and I'm just thinking that probably, I think that given that Black Gel is a Saxon and Cadoc is a Christian Briton, I think that Caicester owes Cadoc. Cadoc is going to hold the debt from Caicester that they owe you, because you stopped. You literally saved the settlement on this occasion. There was no graze in that outcome, and rid them of a dangerous loon.
Didn't we do that last time though? Because I have a favor of, I have Caicester's favor, and this rings familiar somehow.
Oh, well, maybe I did that at the end of. I don't think I did. I think you earned the favor of Caicester by doing something very impressive in front of them.
That's possible, yes.
Yeah, so you have 2 debts.
Okay. Wow.
You might want to investigate what it says about the debt economy and how you might spend those debts. But anyway, then the fate triggers on the road again. Once you have left the settlement, you agree which faction you are traveling into. Now, I'll remind you, if you look at the map tab, you were in the southern hill country between southern Rheged and Bernicia. So you have a number of options. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could go west into Rheged, Christian Britain Rheged. You could go east into Saxon Bernicia, southeast into Saxon Dira, which you've already visited. That's where Thridingas is. Or you could head back the way you've come into Gwynedd. So Black Gel, you're always full of insights. What are you thinking?
How many more sessions we got?
Good question. I haven't even thought about that. I think we've got we are there. 1, 2, 3, 4 at the outside, depending on where we get to on the 21st.
Oh, I think next, Cadoc. I think next. So I think Rheged, because Rheged actually does border Bernicia itself anyway, so we can skip over to Bernicia next. So yeah, we haven't been to Rheged, have we? No, no. Well, let's have a look at that.
Fine. So unless the other two want to veto that, head west. Go west, young man. Okay, so you're heading into Rheged. Currently, relative to the hill tribes, Rheged is friendly. So I'm going to ask Black Gel to roll a couple of dice to see whether there's any change in that relationship. Not because of what you're doing. This is just using you to manage background events. And you are going to add 1 to the dice roll. What do we got?
I rolled, but actually nothing happened.
I think I'm seeing a 2 and a 1.
Excellent, then. That's what it is.
Anybody else?
No, I see it now on a refresh.
Oh, right. Okay.
So 4.
A whole 4. On 6 minus, the neighboring faction shifts its posture 1 step towards raiding. So friendly becomes neutral. So clearly something's amiss in terms of relationships between the hill tribes, who are pagan Britons, and the Christian Britons of Rheged. Well, where have I got? Oh, there I am. So we've done Weird Bith Full Ared. Now encounters on the road. While on the road into Rheged, the heroes encounter travelers heading in the opposite direction. The fate says why the travelers are on the road and their faith. So I'm going to roll 2d6 because why not? I don't get to roll the dice often in these games. So 6 and 5 or 5 and 6. I'm going to go with 6 and 5. Right, so I need to roll again on a 6. Ooh, went the crowd. 2. They appear to be hunting. So they are some variety of hunters. But you and I know, because I rolled a 6 first, that there is some other secret, perhaps suspicious reason, which appears to be they are hunters. And I'm going to roll a dice secretly here. Hang on. I know what their true function is. Okay, I know what their real function is. And on a 5, they are a different faith to either the faction they are traveling from or to. So they are neither Christian British nor Christian pagan. They are therefore Saxons. If the faction the heroes are traveling into is neutral or hostile to, or raiding the faction they are leaving, now it's neutral, the heroes with who's got the lowest favor at the minute? As if I needed to ask. Cadoc, is God still not playing fair with you?
God is playing very fair with me. He's just not my greatest fan, which I accept as my fate.
So you are rolling with -3.
Oh wow, okay. This is gonna go swell. It's a 5.
Okay, so on a 6-, the heroes misread the encounter, mistakenly believing the encountered travelers are interested in them and their woes. Every hero with a marked temptation, not burden, must seek solace in friendship with one of the travelers, but does so at disadvantage. So is there anyone currently living with a temptation?
Are you even asking?
So yeah, you're living with 2 at the moment. You're living with pride and longing. Black Gel is living with wrath. It is only Finn who is just dealing with his burden of longing. So let's start with Black Gel, because they're Saxons, you're a Saxon. And clearly, whatever their real function is, they're full of bonhomie and welcome around the campfire, but they're clearly preoccupied with something else. So the chances are this conversation will go well. But how do you address the temptation of wrath with them? How do you talk about your woe with one of these hunters?
I think I will describe just wanton violence, where I've come from, how we spread it on everything we saw in the settlement. Everything that was evil we laid waste. Not one thing survived.
And I think that probably the response is that Woden would welcome that. You know, your place in the corpse hall is secured on the basis of this. So long as you die with a blade in your hand, a weapon in your hand, surely Odin will bless you. But let's roll the dice. So you are now rolling Seek Solace in Friendship, which is on the Gifts and Temptations tab. When you share your woes with another, roll plus soul.
But at disadvantage.
At disadvantage, sorry, yes.
So I'm +1 at soul.
Well, there you
go. 5, 6.
Okay, on a 6-, they listened patiently, but you have not found value in their counsel. Do not clear a temptation, and you cannot seek solace again until you reach a new settlement or embark on a quest. So you are stuck with wrath. It looks like
you lie, old man. You couldn't peel an orange.
Let us cut to Cadoc. You know, these are Saxon warriors, so there's a warrior connection going on here, but you need to be clearing longing. So how are you going to address this scene in a way that might lead to you clearing longing? And longing is you yearn to make a connection.
Yeah, I would like to know what
do that by making a connection.
Yeah, I would like to know what an orange is. I've never heard of that. Anyway, I think I'll just talk about my horse. I lost my horse, and I'm very sad that my horse is gone. And then I think I will offer whatever beverages we have, of a more spirited kind, and just drink with them and talk about my horse, and maybe one of them likes horses or has a pet or something, right? Or maybe let's see how the roll goes, and I might assume that he's missing his wife and I'm missing my horse is basically the same thing, right? But so
if I said that, I'd be in trouble.
Well, I mean, that depends on the dice, right?
It does.
If it's a good roll, yeah.
3d6, take the bottom 2, add soul.
Okay. This won't go well. Wow, it's a 7. It's an actual 7.
Who knew that, eh?
So clearly someone has a pet that they're missing too.
Well, I think that it's about beverages, right? I think it's about warriors telling tales of loss, lost and found.
Yeah.
They've all lost something. You know, one of them's lost a limb, maybe. So on 7 to 9, 7 plus clear the temptation, so clear longing. On 7 to 9, recognize the wise counsel they have provided and honor their heritage by owing their gods a debt.
Right.
So you now owe Woden, and I think probably, you know, Finn and Blackgel watching this going on, and the alcohol's being passed around the fire, and they're talking about, you know, what they'd like to find, and it turns out that you end up kind of in a drinking contest, and you win, and Woden blesses you with that, so you owe Woden What this means is you can now seek support from Woden when you invoke your gift, if you want to avoid going back to God.
No, I don't think so. I mean, my God is a pretty jealous God, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, you know, your favor with God is -3. Your favor with Woden is better than -3.
Yeah.
There's a whole new God to annoy now, Cadoc.
I mean, maybe that is what God wants me to do, to annoy Woden. I can phrasing it like that. Yeah, I need more gods that I can annoy.
So what the move says is, once you owe them a debt, you track favor with them and can seek their aid to invoke your gift. However, they can call in the debt you owe just as your own gods can. So that's the current state of play. And that, I think, because Jose, do you want to have a scene with anyone here, Jose? Either the player characters or a non-player character, or because, you know, there is this opportunity for conversation.
So yeah, this is drinking game going on. I don't want to get in the way of that. Now we're after whatever scene I do, we'll be parting ways with these folks, or because there is a mystery somewhere in these folks, right? They're suspicious.
There's
suspicious about that. About them, right? So I don't know. I mean, I could explore something about like trying to find out what they're really up to or what they're really hunting.
Yeah, you could.
But that would be with an NPC. It would. I don't know if there would be a mechanic for that. So
well, you know, that would be. I think we'd be looking at something like building into that the common move. Look about you.
Oh, which I'm horrible at, so that can't go wrong.
Well, that's fine then. What better character to offer this opportunity to? So,
can I? Do I look around first?
There's no pressure in this. You do not have to go down this road.
What happens when you fail? Look around. Let me just see that.
Expect the worst.
Expect the worst. Okay. It might be fun actually to fail it, but I don't know. I'm not saying that from my perspective. I'm just having an image, and maybe this would be after I fail a roll, of noticing that some of the pelts that they have are wolf pelts. And maybe I'm trying to ascertain whether these were people like me, or just regular old wolves.
Okay.
Right.
Let's have you roll plus sense.
Which is okay. This is a -3 roll. So let me just find the the roll thing. Here it is. It's a 5.
5. Now remember, you always have the option to help yourself by invoking your. Now, you know, you've said that you're interested in whether these pelts are. That's a skin changer related inquiry. So if you wanted to, you know, when you're dissatisfied with the outcome of roll, say how your calling or seeming is relevant. It is. Either owe your patron a debt and say how their help manifests, or assert your free will and take a temptation. And then you get to re-roll one or both dice. Again, no pressure. No pressure.
They're both 4s. I mean, what am I going to do with the -3? I'm likely to get it wrong anyways.
No pressure.
All right.
And the look on Black Gel's face is saying, no.
Wait, I missed a way. I look at the... Okay. So Black Gel, what are you thinking? That I should ask my patron and try to re-roll? Or that's not going to make a difference?
The gods do not look favorably on you. Have a mushroom and drink instead.
Have a mushroom and drink. I'm just going to stick with the roll then.
Expect the worst. And out of the sharing of mushrooms and drink, they reveal that they're not hunting animals, they're hunting people. They are hunting somebody called Ivan.
Oh my. That is bad.
And we may find out why next time.
Okay.
But they are hunting our new hero, Ivan, the Celtic mystic. That's about as worst as I felt obliged to give you on this occasion. And that'll teach David for being busy.
That's right. He's going to blame me.
So it then says, and this applies to Cadoc here, if any hero would owe the gods of the encountered travelers a debt, you owe Woden, they must instead undertake a quest that the travelers describe.
Oh, okay.
And clear that debt.
Okay.
And there is a tab. We've not engaged with this mechanic yet. There is a tab called quests that I'm moving up towards the hero tabs.
There is another tab. Wow.
There are tabs for everything in this game.
I'm feeling like I'm in one of Ray's games, to be honest.
And the fate chooses or separately rolls 2d6 for the action the quest involves and the object its inspiration for the detail. So I'm going to roll again a 2d6 and see what I do with those numbers. So 5, 1, or 1, 5. That is either seek or create. I think this quest that they are going to set you, because Woden has set it, appears and sets it, is to seek something. And then what is there to be sought? A 6 and 3 or a 3 and a 6. A 3 and a 6 would be an innocent. A 6 and a 3 would be a miracle. I think you are set to seek an innocent. Where must you go? Where is this innocent? I'm going to randomly roll for a location just to see where that takes us nearby. Okay, let's have a go at locations. So again, I'm going to roll 2d6. That is 3 and 3. So that is definitely a mysterious, and then a mysterious what? 6 and 5 on 5 and 6. So 6 and 5 would be standing stones, and 5 and 6 would be, mysterious standing stones, no question.
Yeah.
Woden appeared to them and told them to seek an innocent.
What
Specifically,
for?
Well, that remains to be seen. To seek an innocent who was held among some mysterious standing stones, and they point the way you're heading on yonder hill.
Okay.
And, as the sun has sunk and the moon, of course, illuminates a set of mysterious standing stones on yonder hill. This is a side quest. It is an encounter in a location with something. And after that, we'll move on to the next settlement.
Mm.
Okay. So, with that in mind,
maybe it's my horse. I have not given up on her yet.
I know you haven't. I know you haven't. And I'm going to roll a couple of dice. That's 1, 5. I might use that as inspiration for the nature of the threat that you may face. So, Cadoc, this comes down on you because it is your debt that you are clearing to Woden to take on this quest on behalf of these travelers. How do we see you with the others approaching yonder mysterious standing stones?
I think maybe we've set up right there and then, because I mean, if there's an innocent, if they are in danger, we go now. So yeah, high-spirited, I'd say. Spirited of the liquid kind, maybe a little. Well, not stumbling drunk, but
empowered by the spirit of Woden. Black Gel?
Yes, I've been there before, that hill. They are called the heroes, those stones. Why? Long ago something happened there, but they are called the heroes, Cadoc and Finn, and we must go there then, if that is what God has said.
Enough said.
So is that the heroes, the herons, the heroes, the harrows?
Can you spell that, Black Gel?
Heroes, people that do big deeds, evil or good. Depending on how you look at them. The heroes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But they're stones, mind you. They're not people. They're stones.
That makes them kind of harder to hit. I mean, not harder to hit, but sword, stone.
Don't blunt your sword. We shall use our minds.
Oh, yeah, but I think I'll talk to the innocent, and you blunt your minds
deal with the
stones. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just describe the approach to these stones, Cadoc. What do I see? We know that they're lit by moonlight. We know what they're called. Just give me a bit more description about what they look like as you go up this hill in the moonlight towards them.
I think these are mysterious stones, right? So what is weird here is the sound of the wind. The wind makes that as it cuts through those stones. It's almost like it's like, and it's kind of it's not, in some way it's not very eerie, but it's just strange and otherworldly, right? You might expect a fairy hopping around, or a maiden beckoning you into a forbidden kingdom, which is not what Father Boniface would advise me to do. But it's kind of like, yeah.
I like that. Finn.
Yeah.
Tell me something you're feeling at this point. I mean, these standing stones were erected by, ancient Britons.
Mm-hmm.
What are you feeling as you approach them?
I think as Finn perks his ears up and listens to the whistling of the wind through the stones, I think it stimulates his longing a bit, and he hears some kind of plaintive call, as if someone's calling for his help in the stones. And so his kind of heroic image of himself clicks in. and he maybe quickens his pace, and maybe even goes ahead of Cadoc and Black Gel.
Bravely, wanting to confront the threat.
To respond to the distress.
Of course. Respond to distress. That sounds like either soul or steel.
Okay.
Which one do you want to roll with?
What's the move that I'm doing? This face a challenge?
Sorry, so this is location tab.
Oh, location tab.
Descriptor. When you first come to a place with this descriptor, the Fates confirms which hero takes the lead. You just put yourself on the spot. They face a challenge, rolling with the attribute listed for the descriptor or one the Fate feels most narratively appropriate. It seems to me this is either internal confidence, which is kind of soul, or it's, physical brashness, which would be steel.
I'll go with
roll to face.
Brashness. What the
Okay, so roll to face a challenge with steel.
All right. So that's an 8 on the dice, +1 is a 9.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, you do it, but the Fate chooses one. Now, I will ask if anyone wants to, whether there's if you want them to, if you want to ask for help, or if somebody wants to offer help. When another hero's actions do not go as well, ask if they want your help. Does either Cadoc or Black Gel want to step up and have a suggestion of how they could help in this circumstance?
Don't run in front too far, Finn. Your attention is not good. I have been here. I know what is here. Slow down, my friend.
That sounds like you're going to roll with sense. That sounds like common sense, Black Gel. I mean, those moments of lucidity.
9, 10, 11, 12.
On 7+, your outcome improves by 1 step from mixed to full success, Finn. So that's a good thing. And there's no downside for either of you. So, that does that cause you? How does that? What do we see that reflects him kind of saying, just be a bit careful? What do we see? A change in the
Finn
approach.
looks over his shoulder and is like surprised at Black Gel saying something sensible, and and it gives him pause. He's not used to that, and in that moment of pause, Cadoc and Black Gel catch up with him and join him as they move closer to the circle together.
So that means you don't face the consequence of the mystery surprising you. Okay. So I think I will describe what you see. I think that the whole wind through the stones means that each of these stones has a hole knocked through it, an ancient hole. Maybe it's just wind erosion. And it is the sound of the wind through those holes in the stones that create this kind of... And standing in the middle of the ring of stones, as you approach just the threshold of that ring, you see a beautiful young woman with a horse. Yes, it is that horse.
It is a horse. Forget about the innocent. For maybe Delilah is the innocent, right? We never know.
Well, I mean, that's the tricky question now.
No, it's not. Women are not innocent. Original sin,
What Father Boniface would be proud of you. Cadoc, you see the horse. You see the young woman. What do?
I yell, Delilah, and step forward to the horse, mostly ignoring the woman.
I mean, they're about 20 yards away, 20 paces away in the middle of this ring. So you as soon as you cross the threshold, the young woman was just had the horse by the halter and was just staring deeply into its eyes. And as you cross the threshold into the ring, it's like the spell is broken, and she looks at you and you see that she has a knife in her hand.
Oh no.
Black Gel. Cadoc is very excited and launches himself into the ring. What do?
You in the ring, stop and hand over the horse, or we will be forced to punish you in the ring. of stone.
I think that sounds like convince them to me. So let's have you roll plus subtle, Black Gel, to see whether you can get. This is with disadvantage because I know that this person has intent here, so they're not a pushover.
Sounds totally fair to me. Well, that could have been good with a 6, but get rid of the 6 and it becomes something a whole lot worse. 5.
Into the ring, out of a stone, steps a large, hairy humanoid with little in the way of a neck, great long arms, and a crouching stance. This is an ogre.
It's a hero. It's a hero.
From one of the stones, Black Gel. Finn, what are you doing as Cadoc pauses for a moment when she reveals the knife, which is kind of glinting in the moonlight?
Let me quickly check one thing, and then I will tell you. Oh, we don't know if she's immortal or not, do we?
Don't. Why? What were you thinking of?
I was going to try the fascination move on her, but I can only do that if she's immortal.
And I think also you need to be relatively close to her. I think.
We're still kind of at 20 paces.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Only Cadoc has crossed the threshold. Black Gel has, done his thing. I guess I want to know what you're going to do next. It might be to get close to her. I don't know.
Is this ogre close enough to attack Black Gel at the moment?
Not unless Black Gel wants them to be. It could be,
okay.
A stone halfway round. Black Gel, was this a stone kind of next to where you're standing, or was it further around the circle?
Let's have it at close,
but not next.
But not hand.
Yeah, fine. So Black Gel is between two of these stones, and the other stone, the next stone around, is where this ogre has emerged, clearly in response to Black Gel's challenge. Mm-hmm. So if you go full skin changer, mm-hmm. a decent leap would have you there in very little time indeed.
I think
unless they're the innocent, of course.
Unless they're the innocent, of course. The ogre could be the innocent. I think the woman with the knife. I think Finn is, because he's still feeling that longing and that sense of the plaintive call, and he wonders if it's her. And so I think he's going to approach her, close the distance with his hands up in a non-threatening gesture to try to calm her.
So Cadoc, the sight of the knife just gave you pause for a moment while those things happened. What do you do now, Cadoc?
I will. Is she threatening me or the horse, or?
It looks like it's looking at you, but the knife is near the horse's throat.
Oh, I'll say, careful, young lady. This you don't want to hurt the horse, because that is my horse, actually.
And in a fluting tone, you hear her say, if it is your horse, why do I have it?
Because you found it, I guess. I mean, it's my horse. Delilah, come here.
Oh, right. You're trying to make Delilah make the right choice?
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
Oh,
okay.
I mean, that is a trained warhorse, right? I mean,
it is.
I assume that we at least have some sort of
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is. I don't think convince is going to work on the horse, but I think face a challenge.
Yeah. Okay.
The outcomes on face a challenge might make it possible. I think this is at disadvantage because it's a horse.
And what I rolled it with. I mean, not that
sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah, I think this is soul, belief, or subtle.
It's soul.
The quality of your tone.
Yeah, it's soul. It's not gonna work, but it's soul. No, it's not. It is.
You always have the option to help yourself.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm rolling with -1 and at a disadvantage. So.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh my god, enough deaths. So.
Wait, you just missed the roll? You just missed the roll. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Because maybe somebody else can help.
I was going to say I could try to help.
Yeah, that would be nice because then I go one step up and regardless of the roll.
So how do you think Finn can help here? Because it sounds like he's about to go full monster.
No, he was approaching in a non-threatening way.
Oh, that's right. That's right. No, I'm sorry. Yeah,
he was. Full monster. He'll have other opportunities to be full monster.
What does he say or do that is likely to make a difference here?
I think
then I can judge which attribute to use.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is that I think he's trying to distract the woman so that Delilah can respond to Cadoc's call. And so he's trying to keep her attention on him and maybe speaking to her or saying something like, I heard your voice, I came. Something, I don't know, seductive or
that sounds like subtle to me.
Okay.
And I just no disadvantage, advantage, just a straightforward roll with subtle.
Oh, but I get advantage for help. So.
Oh, you do. I keep forgetting that. Thank you. So roll with advantage plus subtle.
And subtle, I think, is flat for me. So. So that's a 9.
Wow. So that failure goes to a success for Cadoc. And the horse clearly tries to pull away from the young woman who's got him by the bridle, and tries to pull away and gets uncomfortable. So I think there's some fictional positioning going on there with a disturbed horse now, if somebody wanted to capitalize. But let me go to Black Gel. That ogre is taking ponderous steps across the ring, not towards you, Black Gel, because you're still outside the circle, but towards Finn and Cadoc. What, if anything, do you want to do, Black Gel?
Yeah, I'm going to try and distract. Ablu chamom natadu victim spirited di punto.
Speaking in tongues, quite
Indeed.
literally. When you deliberately draw attention to yourself by shouting gibberish, reveal some aspect of your life before you were touched. We're all wanting to know more about your life before, Black Gel. The last time we saw 2 people who looked like you, one a slave and one holding that slave by a chain. What else do we see of your history?
Okay. If any, this could get a bit close. So if somebody doesn't like it, just say it. And he said, basically, it is this place on a moonlit night, very similar to now. And you see me still chained with animal rags, actually probably the same animal rags I'm wearing now, but I'm still chained. And you see the person that we possibly saw at the beach, might be him, might not be, stood on, there's a flat stone here, they're not all vertical, stood on a flat stone. And we see the back head of a man with long sort of black hair, and he's kneeling on the ground while this guy stood on the stone. He's going, I will do your bidding, master. I will be your servant on earth. I renounce God and everything he stands for. Baptize me. And the figure on this flat stone starts urinating on this man. And this man's like, baptize me in your name. And that's it. I was like, I have been here. I said I had.
I just need to be clear. I'm not certain if Black Gel is the one kneeling down or Black Gel is the one standing on the stone.
They sort of looked similar, didn't they?
Oh, they did. They did. Right. Okay. Well, so yeah, it looks like the horse was being held over that flat stone. And I think Finn, knowing pagan ritual, it wouldn't be unusual to sacrifice a blood sacrifice on a stone such as this. Just to put a bit of Black Gel, we were so taken up with that. I was so taken up with that.
I thought you were going to forget the roll there.
I thought about the roll. Roll plus sense.
Okay. I'm not too bad at this, so it should go well. 11.
11. Oh, it didn't. No, not too well. Okay. On a 7+, say who or what's attention you attract and how that places them at disadvantage relative to another hero you name.
I think that's reasonably easy. Basically, it does turn around and look at me. And I think clearly the gibberishness, it doesn't distract Cadoc or Finn, but they know, like, what the hell is he talking about? And that's when they see this creature. Yeah. Basically, they are now unsurprised by it.
Exactly, and in fact are at advantage relative to it. You're both very close together, so I'll let either one of you use that advantage. Agree among yourselves. So this thing, lumbering across the stone circle towards you, Cadoc and Finn, and then you hear the declaiming from behind you. It kind of stops. And he's at disadvantage relative to you two. You are at advantage to it. Which of you wants to focus on the ogre and which of you wants to focus on the horse? I think I know the answer to that, but Cadoc?
I would like to get on the horse and focus on the ogre.
Fine.
While I'm on the horse.
So the young woman and the horse is you. Finn, that leaves you with advantage relative to an ogre. What do you want to do with that advantage, or do you just want to sit on it for a little while?
Oh, I could keep it, right?
Not indefinitely. I mean, if the narrative moves on.
But not immediately on this move. I had been, fictionally, I'd been approaching her
yes,
with my hands open, and I got her attention. So it seems, but now I just looked over my shoulder and I see that there's ogre coming because of Black Gel's gibberish. And then I think I'm going to try to take the knife away from her.
Went the crowd. So this means that you need to get close to her. So you're focusing on her, allowing Cadoc to focus on the horse.
Okay.
And hoping that the ogre is slow-witted enough not to react to any of that. Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. It sounds like face a challenge, Finn, to get up close and personal to her, at which point you may be able then to face a challenge to disarm her. Or maybe you can confront her. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So let's start with that. You continue just moving really slowly. All that hostage negotiation training comes to the surface. And let's have you roll. Again, it's subtle, I think.
Okay. Sorry. Subtle. Oh, that didn't work. It's a 5.
Oh, so that's a 5. So
can I help
the word? Well, that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah.
What do you think you could do to help Cadoc?
I mean,
would allow Finn to get up close to this young woman.
I'm moving up close to this young woman, so maybe that just masks the fact that Finn is trying to do the same. She might be a little confused. Who's going to do what, right?
I think that probably is subtle, because this sounds like a cunning plan to me.
That's very, yeah. It probably is. It's help another, right? Though.
Yeah.
Okay. Has to work. Maybe. Come on. It's an 11. Haha.
So on a 7+, their outcome improves. The fail becomes a 7 to 9. On a 7 to 9 with face a challenge, the fate chooses you mark harm doing it. That doesn't seem appropriate. It takes longer than you'd hoped. That seems to me to be reasonable, because that will mean that the advantage on the ogre slips away. I think the ogre is so you have to come really slowly up to her. I think that's probably it. Respite is temporary. Don't think that fits. Some other, I think it is that you have to do this sufficiently slowly that black gel on the edge of the stone circle sees the ogre that's been looking at him kind of swing back to where the two of you now are relatively close to her and the horse. Yeah. Black gel, the distraction worked, but the fools blew it. They didn't act on your lead. What are you going to do, Black Gel? Because attention has focused back, and it's.
I'm gonna enter the ring of stones, but doing my best horse impression. As I start sort of cantering into the ring of stones.
If that is not capering fool, I do not know what is. Putting out the coconut halves. When you act the fool, roll plus soul, Black Gel.
Oh
my!
Oh, that's not very good.
6. Well, this might be what you wanted. On a 6-, you attract attention rather than avoiding it, which places you at disadvantage until their notice shifts. The ogre turns to you and goes,
I think Woden needs. I think Woden needs. Woden needs the help.
So, do you want to help yourself here, Black Joe?
I will help myself.
Woden loves a fool. So let's see if we hope. So, either owe your patron a debt, or assert your free will and take a temptation.
Can you pay in blood?
I think I've removed that option.
Okay, can't pay.
I'm not sure I meant to. So yes, you can pay in blood. Mark harm.
I have done.
Woden loves spilled blood. So that turns failure into a mixed success. Okay. Oh dear, black jelly's a joy. On 7-9, pick one. You're beneath notice and gain advantage to stay that way, or you're considered harmless and gain advantage to exploit that situation. So he turns towards you, goes, horse, and then no, and turns away from you, ignoring you. Now, you can either stay out of this with advantage, or you could even sneak up on him with advantage.
I think the second one, be considered harmless and gain advantage to exploit that situation.
Yeah, so you kind of canter up beside him,
yeah,
and he's clearly judged that you are not a horse and not in any sense a threat. Because let's face it, none of us think you are.
No.
Finn and Cadoc. I think probably, Finn, you need to get in the way of that knife to give Cadoc the best chance of grabbing the halter and getting Delilah away. So what do we see you do, Finn, in an effort to take the knife away from her?
So will he be?
Wait a minute. Didn't he already roll to take the knife away from her?
No, he rolled to get up close.
Okay.
So you are both now within striking distance of both horse halter and knife. So what do we see you doing, Jose?
I think he's got both his hands up like this, and he's been getting close enough to her, and I think he managed. And then she has the hand maybe in her right hand. He's gonna push her with this one, grab the knife with that one. So a misdirect and a nab the knife.
I think that's about physical coordination on your part, so I think steel is the relevant. So
Okay.
roll to face a challenge with steel to get the knife.
All right. So that's 9 plus 1 is a 10.
10 plus. It goes beautifully. Say how you gain advantage or impress a watching mortal NPC. Well, I'm not sure that's relevant in this context, so I think you have advantage. She's looking at your hands, and then one of them pushes away. You grab the knife, you have the knife, and she is at disadvantage at the minute relative to the pair of you. So,
Okay.
Cadoc, what do you think you're going to do with that opportunity that Finn has created?
I will get on the back of my horse and then attack the ogre, because the ogre seems dangerous.
This sounds like face a challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
with steel, I think,
Yeah.
because this sounds like physical coordination and agility. Go for it.
Let's see how that goes. That's a 6.
Just a 6?
Yeah, it's just a 6. I'm at -2 because of my temptation.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I could, however.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think Finn is in a position to help you because I think he's done the helping here in advance.
I could help myself, right?
You could always help yourself.
I will try to help myself. It's not like I mean,
this horse is part of being, the sword of God. So I think it's oh, your patron a debt. I don't think you have the option to assert your free will and take a temptation instead. You could offer. I'm not sure God is big on blood sacrifice, if I'm honest.
No.
I think that's why I've not copied it here.
I mean, my God is big. Big God is big on suffering, right? He's big on
true.
penance. So
okay, yeah, no, let's have you flagellate.
Yes,
she doesn't have to ask God though. She can ask. Woden.
No, could ask Woden.
I will ask Woden. Why not? I mean, you're right.
You can pay Woden in blood.
You could always pay Woden in blood.
I will pay Woden. I will. It's Woden's quest. I will pay Woden in blood. Why not?
Mark a stress and re-roll one or both die.
I will re-roll both dice. Let's see what Woden thinks of that. No, it's a 5. Woden doesn't like me either. Well, that was pretty much clear, but I had to try.
Oh wow! So okay, so you go for the horse, but you don't make it. You don't make it. The horse is jittery. She's still got a vague grip on the halter, but I think the horse breaks that and goes free, but not with you on its back. And I think things get worse. You fall and hit your head on that flat stone. Maybe there's a bit more blood spilled, but add another harm.
I do have a helmet.
You do, but they're very high. So, that harm is in the form of, oh God, that splitting headache.
Yeah, that's fine.
Those nasals are really dangerous.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I have a helmet.
So that's happened. Black gel. You've attracted the ogre's attention. What do you want to do with that attention?
I think I'm going to have to hit the said ogre. I think we're now past the point of any kind of other action. So it's going to require some physical violence.
Okay. Its defenses are a long reach. It has, unnaturally long arms. It has a tough hide and a high pain threshold. So which one of those defenses do you want to try to get by?
High pain threshold. I want to hit it with my knife in its ear. That really, that's more pain than a standard hit. It really hurts.
Okay, then I think that's probably steel because it's. Can you punch it home?
I think it's steel. But I roll at
So
advantage.
you roll at advantage, roll with steel to make it pay.
Oh, 2 6s, that would have been even better, wouldn't it? But it's still 7 plus.
Still 7, that's okay. So on 7 plus, the defense is erased and it goes. So high pain threshold has been crossed. But the threat chooses 1. They use one of their powers if they have one. It has a power called grab and throw. So when you come in close and stab it, its reaction is to grab you by the front of your tunic and throw you. And the way that the ogre grabs a hero and throws them out of the fight. Hero marks 2 harm, no armor protection when they land. Do you want to land on the ground or do you want to thump into one of these stones?
Let's thump into a stone.
Fine. You know, it's like Wile E. Coyote being, thrown away and it turns towards you to come after you. But actually, you've got a bit of time now. Finn, you have the knife. She stumbled away. What do you do?
I think what happened was, I'm just seeing, I came forward, pushed her with this hand, grabbed the knife with this hand, spin around, and bring her into an embrace with the knife at her throat.
So you want to have her at your mercy, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is when she goes incorporeal. You will need to confront her with soul to believe that she's still there. Yeah? Okay. So confront her with soul, which is, you're very good at that now. Again with the incorporeal, I know. What can I tell you? I rolled up a spirit.
This might be the moment to ask a question about that soul. I did a plus at 1 on the soul. Is that okay for my playbook, or are there certain attributes I can't plus?
Well, hang on. Hang on. Let me check down the bottom. There's a little list.
Kind of messy in the different menus. Some attributes you can, some you can't.
Let me have a look. Oh no, you can't add 1 to soul. I'm sorry. It's subtle, steel, or sense.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I should have checked.
Is that the +2, the one that you originally get at +2? Because it's a little bit wonky in different playbooks about which ones you can. Because Black Gel got a +2, starts with a 2 in sense, but he could bump it to 3.
Yeah, they are different. The loon is add 1 to sense, subtle, soul. The sword of God is steel, soul, sense, and you are subtle, steel, sense.
Okay, so there's no rationale behind them. It's just those are the ones I get. Okay.
They're just different. Yeah, they're intended to go off. Well, it depends. Sometimes they go with what you already start with 2 in. Sometimes they will go okay. Sorry, I thought you might look. I assumed you'd looked it up, but.
Okay, no, I didn't realize that until Paul mentioned it to me. So I will then take that back down to 2, and that is relevant to this roll. And then I'll think about what I want to do with my advance.
Fine.
Okay, so now the roll is at +2. Okay. And this is face a challenge, is that right?
This is confront them, because you want to try to put her at your mercy, don't you?
Okay, yeah.
You're looking for a 7 plus.
So that's yeah, it's a 6 on the dice, 8.
Fine. So on 7 to 9, your belief that she is there stops her becoming incorporeal. So you've got through that defense. And I think the only other thing now is that she is swift and slippery. So now you will have to hang on to her before you can have her at your mercy. Yeah.
Okay.
Cadoc, the horse went away. You've heard what's gone on between Finn and this woman. What do? I'm conscious I've overrun my hour. We will hopefully get to a break in a moment.
I think God tells me something like, the horse is not the problem. Is probably what God's trying to tell me. and I think we have a ghost thingy, and
she has turned into this goat, she's able to go incorporeal. Quite why we don't know.
I can't do anything with that. I think I could pray at her, but right now my head is ringing. I have a sword. There is an ogre. Easy choice.
Fine.
I do what I'm trained for. I hit the ogre.
And I dare say your attraction is drawn to that kind of crap as Black Gel hits the ground. So fine, you charge the ogre.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing now, ogres are a little slow, so I'm going to give you advantage against the ogre because you're coming at him from his blind side because he's focused on that annoying not horse.
Okay.
So roll to confront the ogre. The defenses that you're still trying to get around are, I think it's tough hide because long reach isn't relevant because he's not facing you. Yeah. So you can roll with advantage with subtle or steal.
Steel. I'm rolling with steel. I'm hitting it, and it's tough hide. It probably doesn't have that tough hide in its armpit or something. So, or ear. Probably I'll go for the armpit. See how that goes. 7. It's a 9. So
9. So on 7+, again that roar of as you stab it in the armpit. All that's left now is its long reach because you have got its attention.
Yeah, I assume
so its long reach now may be a factor.
Yeah.
Black Gel, pick yourself up.
It has some stuff that it can do.
Oh, it does. Sorry. I think it will inflict harm on you.
Yeah. How much?
Yeah, that's a good question. This is an unarmed, larger than humanoid. 2 harm. But your male will take one of those.
But I'm dying again.
Just really slowly. Black Gel, you see this happen, what do you do?
Can I pick up a rock and lob it at it?
I'm very happy for you to throw rocks at an ogre. Yeah. And I think if this succeeds, you will have got by the long reach by not trying to get past the long reach. So that's winner, to quote someone. So let's have you roll to confront them. That's steal.
Not too good at it, but it could be a good roll. You never know.
You never know.
That probably isn't, though.
A pair of ones. A pair of ones.
Second tonight.
I'd remember tick off these attributes as use them. So you don't get that. On a 6- you take harm and they choose one from the 7+ list, or the fates is less merciful. I think you throw this rock at the ogre, it hits the back of its head, bounces off its head, and hits you on the head.
Not again! Not again!
It's becoming a thing. Take 1 harm. And it picks one from the 7+ list. You are at disadvantage relative to it and other events. Let's go back round to Finn. You've got her. Can you now hang on tight? Soul or steel? Take your pick.
Soul for this one, because I think what Finn's going to say is, I'm no mere mortal. You can't evade me so easily. Yield. And so we'll give it a shot then. Roll with me. Oh, well, that's 11 on the dice. So
well, will you
we won't even bother with the +2.
Okay, so on a 7+, swift slipperiness is eroded. She becomes fully corporeal. You have overcome all her defenses. She does choose one. She cannot flee. She could use her powers, but her powers are all about manifesting. You forced that on her. I think the only option she's got here is that in wrestling with her, you are put at disadvantage, because I think you're setting out at this point not to actually do physical harm to her, but to restrain her. And that is more difficult than just hitting her. So I think you are at disadvantage relative to her. But on a 10 plus, you also choose one.
Oh.
Well, they didn't do any harm. Force them to where you gain advantage. You could cancel out that disadvantage. And the other two, I don't think are relevant, really.
Sure, force them to gain. So I think she tries to slip away again, and he just kind of viciously twists her arm behind her.
Fine. Next round, you'll be able to try to humble her. Cadoc, our ogre is left just with long reach. So that is either steal or subtle. Steal to ignore the long reach and just blast in, or subtle to wait for the swing to go past and then try to go in. Take your pick.
I mean, have you met Cadoc? Just that's a question. Do you know I'm not going in with subtle. I'm going in with my sword. And this is fighting. This is what I know, right? So I yell at the ogre, of course. I do not yell like a horse. Yeah, it's more like Saint Adrian. And
roll plus steal.
Yes. Come on, dice room. You heard it, Saint Adrian. Please be nice. Oh yeah, you don't like Saint Adrian, huh? So no, this is a failure.
That is a 3. That is a fail.
Yeah.
I always have to offer you the chance to help yourself, or Black Gel is positioned where he could help.
That would be really nice.
Holding up a green pen on a green screen is not good. It just disappears.
It's like a magic trick. So, so what is it that you think you can do to help here, Black Gel?
I think it's like no, it's bob and weave. Get under it, Cadoc. Its reach is massive. Get under it.
That sounds like common sense to me. So roll plus sense, Black Gel.
But I am at disadvantage.
Oh, you are. Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
It still should come out quite well. And it does.
7.
10 plus.
Oh, 10. 10. Goodness me.
So even at disadvantage, that's good information, Cadoc.
Remarkable. That's remarkable. So you improve to 7 to 9. On a 7 plus, you get past the long reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just because I'm a little surprised. Turn over to look at Black Gel, stumble a little, and by my head the arm goes.
But on a 7 plus, they get to choose one before you have a chance to humble them. So I think they are going to use one of their powers. A power this ogre is very fond of, which is to grab you and throw you away. Mark 2 harm when you land. But its defenses are still gone. Your armor will take 1. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to give you the benefit of that one because you've not had a lot of luck tonight on behalf of Woden, Cadoc. Black Gel. The ogre is looking a bit bemused. You have an opportunity to humble it.
Back to the stones, ogre. Get back to the stones.
This sounds like you're humbling them with subtle, with the power of your oratory.
Indeed.
Which
sort of blends into the solution. Basically, I'm not going to kill it. We'll just send it back from whence it came.
So roll plus subtle.
Now I'm not at disadvantage because I got rid of that.
You did?
Oh, beautifully 11. There we go.
Okay. If you spare a supernatural, so they are at your mercy, right? Yeah. You define what happens next. Do you get their mercy? It sounds like you want them to have your mercy.
Yes.
If you spare a supernatural threat, they owe you a debt. So you can put down the bottom that you were owed a debt by the Fae. On 10 plus, the fate says what they give you out of gratitude or what you can take from them or earthly remains. Weapon and shield is inappropriate because they don't have one. A charm or trophy or an insight.
Well, we're not really we're not playing the insight game, are we, at the moment?
How do you mean?
Well,
not here. That insight can be kept and defined when you need it. Something they say to you suddenly makes sense.
No, I like a charm or a totem. I think it's like a miniature standing stone, sort of like a miniature hero, maybe carved a bit like an ogre. Who knows?
Fine, make a note of that. They take that out of their neck and hold it out to you as they slink away and disappear into the stone. This leaves Finn in control of our young woman, who's really not a young woman. How do you humble this young woman, Finn, so you can decide what her fate is?
I think with the force of my will, I think I've been using that mostly, and I say because the ogre has just left, right?
Yeah.
And I say your champion is gone. You are humbled. You cannot escape. Yield.
Roll plus soul or subtle. Take your pick.
Let's see. I'll go ahead and do soul again.
Okay.
Good thing I did soul. That's a 5 plus 2 is 7.
Okay. On a 7+, you've told me how you humble them. She stops struggling. Yeah. She is at your mercy. Does she receive your mercy? Or
Yeah,
do you
I think
end
I'll
her?
spare her. Yeah, I haven't been approaching her with my usual violence for some reason.
If you spare a supernatural threat, they owe you a debt. Okay. So you too can mark down at the bottom that the Fae owe you a debt. They're a faction like anybody else.
Okay.
Sadly, you don't get any goodies because you didn't roll a 10+. And you release her, and she bows and says, I did not wish to cause offense, but a sacrifice was needed, and a sacrifice offered itself. But now I will depart.
And I think Finn grabs the halter of Delilah and or the bridle.
I think Delilah ran off.
Oh, Delilah ran off.
Oh, no, she's still around. She just got away from Cadoc.
That's fine.
And he steps politely away and takes a bow.
And she winks out of existence. You have completed your quest. You have sought an innocent. All is well with the world. Cadoc is reunited with Delilah.
Yes.
Albeit at some physical cost.
That's fine. That's fine. I've got my horse.
Black Gel humbled an ogre. Who'd have thought it? I am conscious that we're an hour and a half in when I normally do a break at an hour. Can we take a break from now until 25 to the hour?
Yes.
Yeah, and then when we come back, I'll ask you whether you want to play through or not. Sorry, Jose.
Can we have an extra 5 minutes on that?
You can. Let's go from now until 20 to the hour, okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, we're back from our very late commercial break. My apologies to the players that ran on a little bit. Yeah, that successfully sought out an innocent and regained a horse, but at some cost, but then some benefit. So you will now proceed into Rheged to whichever settlement your gods and patrons have guided your feet. So we're back to arriving. Signs and portents. When you first come in sight of a settlement, the fates will name it and ask each hero to answer a question that will help define the reason their supernatural patrons have guided their footsteps here. So I'm going to call this new settlement Garwlan. So this is the settlement of Garwlan in Rheged. Okay. This is an opportunity for players to begin to shape the nature of the darkness. So I think that I've got as far as starting third one across. So I think this would be, Jose, if you're eating, I'm going to come to you last, okay? So let me go back round to Black Gel to kick off then. What hints at the settlement's former wealth or influence or strength or something else positive?
I think it's got a large stone, or it had a large stone church. So this is about its past.
Well, yeah, I mean, it may still have the building.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, things like that just don't disappear.
No. Large stone church. Was that? Yeah. Okay. So we have a large stone church. Let me come next to Cadoc. What hints at the settlement's current woe? What evidence do you have that something is wrong here? And remember, this can be, concrete what you see, or it can be allegorical or dreams and visions.
I think, oh yeah, I have an idea. What hints at this might just be a hint, but there is a lot of crows. They're sitting mostly, I think they avoid the stone church, but they're sitting around and they're cawing, they're flapping to and fro, and they're not super shy. It's not like they land on one of us, but they're not there. They make way for you, but reluctantly.
Okay.
More like a pigeon, like a crow, I think.
Lots of brave crows in and around the village. Okay. Let me come to Finn. Why are you worried or frightened or threatened by this place, Finn? What is it that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up?
There's something, so we pass, speaking of pens of livestock, I think we pass the pens of livestock and the livestock are all cowering in their pens, like they're terrified of something. And that is resonating with kind of the animal side of Finn, and he's feeling threatened as if something might come from above.
Okay. And because there are only three of you, I come back to ask Black Gel the last question. Why do you think your patron considers this place worth saving? Oh, you are muted.
Why would Woden think it's worth saving? It's a Christian land. I think because there's so Woden's there's some Saxon decals on the houses.
Oh,
yeah, they've all got sort of Saxon carvings on the houses.
so some evidence that Saxons live or lived here.
Indeed, yeah.
Okay, fine. Each hero then creates a significant NPC. So I'll keep the sequence running. I have added the Garwlan tab, which means that Cadoc, who or what do you want to create?
I want to create I want to create let's go keep with the innocent. Let's create or I like an energetic heir. And
an energetic heir.
Yes, and it's a boy, and we're in Saxon land, you said?
No, we're in British land, but there are Saxon signs here.
Oh, okay. His name is Bran because, yeah, Bran. The energetic heir, Bran.
Add Bran, our energetic heir, to the hall. Let me go next to Finn to create one of our supporting NPCs. Be they good or ill?
I'm thinking a herder, since I spoke of domestic animals.
Yeah.
And I will, let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's interesting. Let's just make him wicked. Actually, no, let's make him secretive. Let's have him have a secretive herder.
Fine. And then give him a name. It sounds like it could even be a Saxon name if you wanted to mix it up here.
Sure. Okay.
And then we've got Black Gel. Who do you want to create?
So it's a Christian village, but why is it always a priest of Woden?
That's very true. It should say priest or priest of, whoops, daisy. Priest or priest of Woden. That's not, no, I keep forgetting to change this. It should say priest of Woden / God. Take your pick. There you go. Whichever is appropriate.
Could I have in the village a priest of Woden?
Why not? Because you made the point about there being Saxon signs here.
So let's have him as a burly, loyal priest of Woden in the village.
So burly or loyal? You get one descriptor.
Oh, yeah, okay, let's just have burly.
Okay. A burly Saxon priest of Woden. Fine. This is an interesting place. Maybe it's near the coast and Saxons come ashore here and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we now need to create a couple of locations nearby. So I got as far as Black Gel. Let me go to Cadoc. Do you want to name the place or name the descriptor?
I want to name all the names. No, I think since you said near the wait, Rheged is in
Rheged is to the west, so it does have a coast.
Does have a coast. But I think we could have let me check what kind of menaces and stuff we had. Oh, let's go with fields.
Oh, right. So what is true of these fields, Finn? All right, we've selected fields. Okay. What about these? What's the descriptor that relates to these fields?
I'm gonna say unholy.
Ooh, unholy fields, right? If you want to put that up in one of the nearby places of interest, that would be great. While I go round to Black Gel and say, do you want to describe the place? Sorry, do you want to identify the place or describe it?
I'll describe it. I think there is a mysterious something.
Okay, we have a mysterious. And Cadoc, I come to you to find out what is mysterious.
And mysterious. What's mysterious here? I think what we have is a mysterious winding path.
Ooh, ooh.
Well, who knows where that goes? It's very winding, though.
It is. It is. Okay, so we have unholy fields. I shall be curious to see what renders them unholy. And we have a winding path. Now, what I'm thinking is if it's okay with you, I'm going to suggest we play through until 9:30, until 1/2 the hour. And because I would currently be thinking about a 5-minute break, but it seems a bit early for that. So let's play through until about 1/2 past, and then we'll see how we're feeling in terms of whether you want to break or not, or whether we've reached a reasonable break point, because I badly managed the first half. So, okay, so we have Garwlan, which is ruled by an energetic British heir called Bran. But the other two people we've identified are both Saxons. And I think reasonably in this case, Black Gel, you've put your Priest of Woden in the village, not in the hall. I think that's fair. And we have unholy fields, and someone is going to write down mysterious winding path that is relevant to our story. Okay. What shall I make of the Lord here, or lady? I shall have a lady who is... Ooh, that's an interesting question. What fits with this mixed environment? Ambitious. I am going to have the ambitious lady. Let's come up with a good Angharad. Who is clearly British. I could never spell Angharad. There we are. That's all right. Okay. The ambitious lady Angharad. So this is the village that we've created, but let us continue with our arriving. The shadows manifest. When you reach the settlement, the fates will ask you to agree whether the inciting incident occurs at the settlement's boundary, somewhere in the village, or in the Lord or Lady's hall. So what do you think? We've had a couple of halls, and we've had in the village. What are you thinking? Jose, what are you thinking on behalf of Finn?
Well, I just got the image since we'd mentioned the crows. There were crows, right? Yeah.
There were crows.
And we also mentioned the domestic animals in their pens and such. Maybe these are all kind of on the outskirts of the village. So there maybe there's some trees around the boundary of the village where all the crows are kind of menacing.
Well, I mean, the sense I got of the crows is that they're on the ground. They're everywhere. They're carpeting the place.
Oh, they're carpeting. Oh, they're all over the place. Okay, all right.
Yeah, they're like pigeons, I think Sabine said.
Like
so yeah, just loitering around. And when you walk through them, they kind of get out the way, but they don't just fly away. They just move over there.
Mm-hmm.
So as you approach the boundary, then you can see the pens of the animals where they're clearly terrified of something, very still, very wary, and these crows that you can find around the edge of the village. As you move through them, they just move out of the way, not very far out of the way, and then come back. So fine. So it's on the boundary. The fates will also ask the players to agree the nature of the inciting incident. There is a heated conversation between NPCs, something supernatural occurs, or a door bursts open. I need to rethink that one because that's a little hall-based, isn't it? Let's change that to someone appears in a hurry. Someone or something, maybe. Someone or something makes a surprise arrival. There we go. That can work anywhere. So which one of those, or something even more flavorful or interesting happens? What I asked Jose to kick off with that first one. Let me go back round to Paul. Black Gel. Which of those would Black Gel like to see as the nature of the inciting incident?
I'd like to see somebody appear.
Someone or something makes a surprise arrival. Do you want to specify someone or something?
Yeah,
No, don't do that. Don't do that, because the next question is who or what enters. Let me go to Cadoc and ask who or what appears, Cadoc.
I think what appears is some sort of really large bird. Maybe not like a rock giant, but really big eagle or something, and carrying in its claws a lamb, maybe.
Well, it's a big bird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I come to Finn and ask, what does it or they do? What does this bird do when it appears?
I think when this bird appears, I think that all the crows orient toward the bird as if almost in reverence or like transfixed by it. And so it's that's not what it does, but that's what the effect it has.
It attracts the attention of the crows, but
yeah.
Go further if you want to.
Yeah, and begins to it's on the ground, right? So it begins,
that's up to you.
Oh, it might be okay, it might be flying. It drops a body.
That's that. Fine.
Thank you, Black Gel.
No, it's your choice, Jose. That was I'm not going to say it was a joke comment, but mate, you decide what happens here. I'm just throwing it out there.
I think it drops an unidentifiable body.
Ooh. Wow. Goodness me, what is going on here? And then if I come back around to Black Gel to ask the question, an unidentifiable human body is what I think I'm hearing. Does that, yeah? And I guess then Black Gel, what makes it unidentifiable? Oh, you are muted.
The face has been pecked off.
Wow. So that would suggest, Cadoc, that this is a big bird. Big enough, able to carry a human body.
Yeah, that's a big bird.
And drop it at the gates of a village. Wow, that's not portentous at all. Goodness me. Okay. I have a couple more questions to ask. And I think I got as far as Black Gel, so this means Cadoc and Finn have the last two questions. Cadoc, does one of the NPCs look particularly surprised or worried or threatened or something similar? And if so, which one?
I think that might be the heir, right? Because big birds dropping bodies in a village, that is not good. That is not good. Maybe he has a suspicion who that might be. Yeah, I think he might even try to shoot an arrow or something at that bird. But,
well, let's you're the people who undertake actions here. The NPCs are there to react to you. Okay. So he looks, would you say worried or frightened?
Worried. He's
Okay.
energetic. He's not scared. He's worried.
And finally, Finn, who does the camera pick up looking particularly unsurprised or hopeful or pleased or welcoming or something similar?
I think, do these towns have they're just villages, they don't have fortifications or anything, right?
They might have a fence or a palisade of sorts, but nothing very marked.
So maybe looking from we're at the boundary of the village, there is a fence, and on one side of the fence is Mund, is that his name, or Mund?
Mund, the Priest of Woden.
The burly Priest of Woden. And there are a few crows right on him, maybe one even on his shoulder, and he's looking self-satisfied, like he knew this was going to happen.
Nice, yeah.
I mean, what if we went from crows to a mix of crows and ravens?
Yeah.
Because ravens are very Woden
adjacent.
Yeah.
Woden adjacent, yes. That's why I was trying to remember whether it was crows or ravens earlier.
Blackbirds.
Big blackbirds.
Corvus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Miscellaneous corvi.
Indeed so. So Mund looks satisfied, pleased, because he was expecting something and something has happened. Brilliant. Okay. What do you do? You know, you're approaching this village. You've had these portentous feelings about it. And as you approach the gate, a great shadow passes over you of this great bird, and a body lands in front of you. Black Gel, always aware of his environment. What do you do, Black Gel?
So it's dropped it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to look about me. Yeah. Maybe where it flies off to, or maybe some more reaction from people in the village. So yeah, I'll just look about me. Let's see what's going on.
Let's have you look about then. So roll plus sense.
Oh no, I only rolled 4, but luckily I've got +3, so it's 7.
Choose one. Ask a question. Ask me to, well, reveal a threat's weakness. If you do that, it will be a threat.
It's too big to not be.
It's too big to just have it pass through the scenario. Yeah. This episode is, but this is Chekhov's gun. That bird is not gone. So could be weakness, or you could agree a detail that enriches the fiction.
I am going to go for the third one. It will force something on an NPC. I think we see the lady running towards the body, screaming, "No, no!" Yeah, and the rest is yours.
Thank you. So the lady, the air looked worried. The lady looks horrified. Yes, and all attention. You know, it's that the hall is on a slight rise up there, and so the camera follows her as she runs down towards the gate, and people just stop what they're doing, look at her, and begin to follow down. So by the time she gets to you, there's a whole group of villagers there. What do you do, Cadoc? Because you're prideful, you're always keen to kind of be front and center.
Absolutely. I will get off my horse and approach the young man, who looks probably by his clothing like someone of a higher station, and is not yelling like the lady, and also is not a sinful creature of sin. I'm a monk, basic monk, adjacent person. My experiences with women has been limited. I will approach him and I will say, "Greetings, good sir. This is seems like a very unfortunate happenstance. Something like this had occurred before."
I think I'm going to use face a challenge here, because I think this is a very stressful moment for him and his mother. And so I think this isn't convince, and it isn't look about you. I don't think you got leverage for the convince.
No,
so I think this is face a challenge to just get his attention.
Oh, come on.
And so that would be, I think this sounds like subtle. Roll plus subtle.
Okay. Do I even have to roll, or can we just say I failed?
Oh no, there's always a surprise lurking in the dice.
Yeah.
You get help.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. You're right. I don't need it. It's an 8. Wow. Okay.
I didn't want to say I told you so.
But you told me so.
I told you so.
I stand corrected, but sometimes it helps to complain a lot.
So on
Start mystery moves. Yes.
You get their attention. And his mother is on her knees over the body weeping, the lady. But he was going to kind of offer her comfort, but then looks to you. On 7 to 9, respite is temporary. So you've got his attention, but he is going to go back to his mother.
That's
after somebody does something. So what do you want to do with that attention, Cadoc? I think it's.
I want to know what's going on. As I asked him, has such a thing befallen this village before, and what is the cause of this? Do you know?
Let's have you look about you. Roll plus sense.
Okay, but I just got his attention and asked him.
You did, and that allows you to ask him a question.
Okay. Okay, plus sense. It's a 9.
Cadoc's on a roll. So on 7 plus, choose one, ask a question. So is that the question? Has this happened before?
Yeah.
Of course not. It's my brother. My only brother.
Very sorry for your loss, but has this bird menaced your village before?
I've never seen it before in my life.
Oh. Okay.
It is, it is a monstrous great raven.
Do not worry, young sir. We will face it. And with the help of God, we will bring peace to your village.
And he crosses himself. I hope so. And he goes to comfort his mother.
Yeah. Okay.
Finn, what do you do?
I think Finn's going to approach the priest, who with the raven on his shoulder.
and he's come and he's keeping a little bit of distance from this tragic event, but he's looking on interestedly. What do we see you doing or saying or whatever?
I think Finn approaches him and makes contact and says, "You seem at home with the birds."
I am blessed by Woden. The ravens and the crows come to me as Hugin and Munin. I can't remember if that's the second one is right. Came to the Allfather.
Did they tell you of this occurrence?
They sometimes offer me insights into that which will come to pass. Are you trying to probe here as to whether they actually did warn him?
Yeah, I guess that is what I'm trying to do. I'm not sure. There's so I have my starting move if I have an interaction with an NPC.
Yeah, I thought I'd do that at the end of this interaction.
At the end, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because you don't want to go pear-shaped immediately.
Give me a moment to go pear-shaped.
A moment of social interaction. I think it is probably look about you to make a judgment about this individual if you want to know whether he's telling you the truth or whether he was actually told beforehand. He may not spill that, but that is what you would learn, I guess. Is that what you're after? Or?
Could I make a fascination roll first?
Yes. I'd forgotten about your fascinating.
And he only has one eye. He's got a patch, of course.
Well,
would be appropriate.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. So when you look into a mortal's eyes, roll plus soul.
Okay. On 11.
Wow. Hold 2. Spend holds to convince them with advantage. So now I'm very happy for you to use convince them to have him simply admit. If you still want the answer to that question, convince
sure.
them. Yeah. So if you want to roll, convince them with advantage. So roll plus subtle, then he will tell you the truth.
All right, let's roll it and see what happens. All right, so that's a 7 plus. I have 1 + 1 to convince because of my burden, and then I have +1, so that's a 9. No, it's advantage. So, oh no, I'm sorry, it's advantage, not disadvantage. Sorry, I'm reading it all wrong. It's 9, so it's an 11.
Wow. So on an 11, he absolutely tells you, I was warned that my lady's second son was returning.
Did you share that with the lady?
I did. On a 10 plus, say how you also gain advantage or impress a watch. It could be this mortal NPC, enough for them to owe you a debt.
Yeah, we'll just keep this between ourselves. Yeah, I think I'll take a debt from him. So do I put that in the same debt area down at the bottom?
Put it down the bottom. I'm going to need to put some more spaces down there, I think. But put it down the bottom as because I think it matters in this case. Put it down as Garwlan bracket Saxons bracket.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think there may be some tensions between the two, and it may matter. Black Gel. You see Finn talking to Mund. You see Cadoc interacting with Bran the heir. What do we see you doing now?
I'm a bit lost for what to do. So when I can't help myself, that's fine. Let's help somebody else. I'm going to grab one of these ravens and start going, oh, tell me all your secrets. Oh, the raven's spoken to me. The raven's spoken to me. And yeah, I'm going to act a fool.
I think you are. So roll plus soul.
Yeah, that's not good then.
Is that just a 6?
Yeah, that's just a 6. Damn.
On 6 minus, you attract attention rather than avoiding it. It places you at disadvantage until their notice shifts.
Well, I think that's fair, isn't it?
It is, particularly
Didn't have
as
the effect I thought.
No, the crows mob you. They just all kind of there's crows and ravens all around you. What do you do, Black Gel?
Is there sort of a getaway move?
Face a challenge to run for cover.
Challenge, yeah, run for cover at disadvantage.
Yeah. Run for cover. Face a challenge. It sounds to be right. Roll with steel.
I think so because I'm awesome at that. Oh, 5. Not the eyes! Not the eyes again! Not the eyes!
Well, am I right in thinking it is only a question of one eye?
Yeah. Not the eye.
Do you have an eye patch?
I do. I've got an eye patch.
That's worth. I need to. I'm going to put that hard move over here for a moment because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that.
Well, you could hit me with a harm.
I could, but I'm more interested in working on ravens and an eye patch.
Oh, okay.
I just need to cogitate what's going on with that.
One. You keep that hard move.
I'll keep that in the back of my mind. Cadoc, what do we see you? Because Black Gel picks up one of these crows, and suddenly he's running for cover.
Hi, wow, this is my good friend Black Gel, right? So I guess I will go and help. And I mean, yeah, sure, why not? I will look around, like, people are probably
people
looking at
notice this. People, you
Yeah.
know, the attention is most of the villagers. The attention shifts.
Oh, I know
from
what I'm
the
going to
body
do. I'm
to
going
black gel and this cloud of.
I'm going to run
foliage.
towards Black Gel, grab Black Gel, and get him into the church.
Okay, okay. I've thought
That's
about the
okay
hard
with
move.
you, Paul.
I've thought about the hard move.
Okay.
Mund, our priest of Woden, looks to you, Finn, and says, "Excuse me," and follows them. Cadoc, you can just take him to the church, yeah? And guess what? None of the crows or ravens will cross the threshold into the church.
Okay.
It is a grand building for the time because it's made of stone. Finn, I am curious, what, if anything, you do seeing Mund march straight for the church where Cadoc has taken Black Gel?
I'm going to try to follow surreptitiously and see if
surreptitiously is different. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to let you roll with advantage because his attention is very much ahead. And, you know, there are lots of villagers about. You know, people are beginning to think about how do we get the body back to the hall. You know, there's lots of activity that provides a bit of cover. So roll to face a challenge. Subtle, I think, is probably the name of the game. Roll with subtle to make a cunning pursuit with advantage.
So that's a 7 on the dice plus 1.
I only saw 2 of them move.
Oh, I didn't do
one of those ones.
Let me do the other one. I didn't do the other one. You're right. I forgot that it has advantage. Oh, that's a 9 plus 1. So that's a 10. Oh, okay.
There you go. So that goes perfectly. Where do you want to be relative to Mund when he gets to the church?
I think I'm sticking to kind of the eaves of the little huts and because all the villagers are milling about, and so I think maybe there is a hut or a house just nearby, and there is a place where I have some cover where I can see the entrance to the church
and hear whatever happens at the entrance.
Yeah.
And Mund won't go in. But he kind of peers into the dark inside the church. What have you done once you've got in there, Black Gel? Once these birds, and the birds are now perched on the eaves of the church. What do you do once you got inside there? I'm just curious. What he sees when he looks in.
I think he sees me trying to sort of take in what's gone on inside the church. Something's happened in here, possibly.
He comes to the threshold. He won't cross the threshold, but he sees you inside, kind of looking around at what's gone on. And he says, "You have been marked by Woden."
And I will spin around and look through me for what he's looking at. Clearly, it can't be me. Who?
"You," he says, "are marked by Woden. Woden took one of your eyes, and now he grants you an audience of his birds. Beware the church. The Allfather has his eye upon you, and may call upon you."
Okay, very well, very well.
Cadoc, what do you make of that exchange? You're in the church. You took Black Gel into the church, and now there's this exchange with Mund, the priest of Woden.
I do not appreciate this Woden person yelling into the church. So I will say, "This is the place of God, heathen. Step away." and leave your and take your empty threats with you.
He ignores Cadoc, Black Gel, looks you in the eye and says, "You will be called, for you have been marked by Woden." And then he walks away.
What did he mean, Cadoc? What did he mean?
He didn't mean nothing. He thought you were an impressionable fool. And I know he's right about maybe one part of it, but not the other. So I think he wants...
This place is evil. Not this place. This place.
Yes, I know what you mean there. There is a curse upon this place. We should try to find out what is going on here and why these birds walk around like they are the lords of the land, and who their master is, and why they killed the young Lord's son, I assume, or maybe the Lord.
Tell us a bit about this church, Alan.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Well, what do you want to know? What do you want to know?
It's a stone church.
Stone
church, Christian church.
Yep.
Tell us. Well, okay. What state of repair is it in?
Okay, I won't make you roll to look about you. It's obvious. It is used, but it's clear that it's never full. You know, if you look at the trodden earth up near the front of the altar, that earth is well trodden down. Further away, there's a part, you know, you can see where people have gone up the towards the front of the church, and there's lots of compacted soil up there. But back here, it doesn't look like it's ever full.
Not many Christians round here, Cadoc, it seems. Not many Christians.
I do not see a priest.
It's a big church, though.
Yes.
A big church. Grand in its day.
Yes, it should be filled with people. And it's odd, right? Because these people are, I would feel, these crows are strange, right? They should pray for relief. Maybe it's this Woden priest who's keeping them from that, and was trying to keep you from the protection that this church offers.
Possibly. The people here are Saxon, though.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them. I think this church looks British, and the name is British.
Too big for the community, though.
It is. It is, and we might go and try to find a priest that.
Yeah, I think that's a grand idea.
Yes. Oh, I hope this. I don't think that this.
How about Alan? Sabine's just said a good thing. We're going to look for the priest. Is there any evidence of the priest? If we look about us in the church, can we find any evidence?
No. It's a very straightforward. It's just basically a single room, built of stone with maybe a bell at one end. So it's there's nowhere for a priest to be hiding in here.
Oh no! But you can see there might be an altar. And
I'm sorry. Okay, fine. I think this is probably Cadoc to look about them, because this is looking for signs of recent use, isn't it, in a Christian church? So go on, roll plus sense, Cadoc.
Yay. Dice, where are you? I'm taking these. Come on. It's a 6. It's a 7.
Okay.
I would like to help.
I'm not quite certain how you are going to help, because would you recognize signs of Christian ritual?
I think I'd know what they were.
Okay, I'll let you help, but at disadvantage.
Okay. 2 people are looking better than 1.
So roll plus sense, but with disadvantage.
Not necessarily, but yeah. Okay.
I rolled 5. 6, 7, 8.
There you go. So that goes from fail to success, or success to mixed success to full success, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yes, but no.
Okay.
There is signs of, up on the altar, there is, a chalice, there is a cross, but there's no sign of the host. You would normally expect to find some locked chest with blessed host in it.
Yeah.
And there is no host. But if following up on this, because you got a 10 plus, I think the relevant bit is that you would gain you would roll with advantage if you follow up on this stuff. Okay.
I also took a new move.
Ooh, went the crowd.
Yeah, divine intervention. Once per session, when you pray for God's aid, roll plus soul. And then I get hold, and I can spend them later on to gain advantage and stuff like that. And I feel that that might be actually a good point, because right now I am in a church where better to pray for divine intervention. So I will do that.
Okay. Roll plus soul.
Roll plus soul. There's another little check mark. The dice roll, be nice to me. No, it's a 6.
But you got advantage, haven't you?
No.
Did you get advantage?
Well, no, you got advantage from that look about you.
Do I? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll roll the last one. Might be better. No. No, dice room hates me. God has other plans for me and moves in a mysterious way. Which I like. Yes,
yeah.
that seems very on brand.
Maybe the rope was a little rotted through, but the bell falls from where it hangs and clangs as it hits the ground.
That is not a good omen. At least it didn't hit me.
Indeed. Finn, you saw that exchange between the priest and Black Gel across the threshold, and then you saw the priest of Woden, walk away. What do you want to do?
I probably shouldn't say this, but do I need to do my start of session move after that?
Oh, you do. Yeah. Thank you. Well remembered. Well remembered. Sorry. You're such a humane skin changer. It never occurs to me that you're really a monster under the skin. So roll plus soul. Thank you.
Oh, I have one of those too.
Roll plus soul. So it's 8, I believe is the number that I got.
On a 7 to 9, any mortals you encounter during the session are inexplicably suspicious of you. You make social rolls with disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay. And you're right, we do have Enemy of God, which I am thinking of renaming, but we'll worry about that at some later date. So you've arrived at a settlement, Cadoc. Let's have you remind us of something dishonorable that you did because God said you should do it.
Oh, wow. I forgot about that again. What dishonorable thing did I do? Because God told me to. I think yeah. Let's say, yeah, I know what I did. We had saved a village from a demon, but in the end, the demon went up in flames and the village started burning. And Father Boniface said that that was the penance for these people. They were not to be helped. And I felt that was dishonorable. We rode away. We left them to their fate. We left them to burn. And that was not.
Left some innocents to burn. Whoa, yeah. Wow.
I mean, I left their village to burn, but, winter was coming, so.
Winter was coming. It's always coming, isn't it? Roll plus steel.
Okay. So that goes, it's a 7, it's a 9.
On 7 plus. You hold one to spend now or later in the session to say how a vision identifies an enemy of God against whom you roll with advantage when you confront them for the first time. On 7 to 9, God tells you to do something you consider dishonorable before leaving the settlement in return for this help. If you refuse or fail, owe God a debt. I think that what God requires you to do is secretly kill a Saxon, so the power of Woden is shown to be weak. God's a bastard, isn't he?
No, God works in mysterious ways, and I mean,
I
already know what Saxon I have to kill, right? I mean, it has to be the priest.
Kill a Saxon in secret, so no one knows who did it. But they find a body that shows that Woden is not powerful.
Yeah, that's
the message we're sending.
Still needs to be the priest.
You know, it's like Don Corleone saying you need to send a message.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that, actually. I think even Cadoc is pretty fine with that. That is what he's used to.
Okay. Part of me thinks that that's a logical breakpoint, you know. I know we've got 20 minutes to go, but I think that's a logical breakpoint. You're here, you've kind of felt your way through some of the issues. I dare say that you're beginning to sense some insights, but let's have a couple of insights here. First of all, I think, Cadoc, I'm going to offer you an insight from that initial contact with Bran and, you know, events around the body. Black Gel, I'm going to offer you and Jose an insight in relation to your little scenes with Mund. Yeah? So let's do them in the order that they occurred, I think. So Cadoc, I've not outlined a depth of shadow here yet. I'm thinking of a depth of shadow of 4.
Oh, I like that.
No, 5. Depth of shadow.
I like depth of shadows. I like that as a word for complexity. I like that. Anyway, what's the hint we get? The insight we have. The insight, I think, is that the Lord's family stands against whatever darkness ails this village, because they have suffered this loss.
The Lord's family stands against the darkness.
So
I suppose it's the lady's family, doesn't it? Such as it is, stands against the darkness.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Because otherwise, why would one of them have been delivered as a message? Let's go next to Finn. Finn, what, if any, insight do you think you want to identify from your conversation with Mund, albeit you fascinated it out of him?
Trying to think, it's something about Woden. Woden has designs on this village.
Why else would he send a man with an eye patch here?
Right.
And finally, Black Gel, what insight do you want to define from your conversation with
that was
Mund?
mine and Finn's. We don't want to put too many up there, do we?
No, well, if you're prepared to take that one, I certainly, I think that yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think that's fair, Paul. Thank you for that. So we have 2 insights on the table at this point. Let's just do end of session, kind of wrap up XP. Let's start in an odd direction. Let's start at the wrong side of the character keeper with Finn. Jose, I don't think you helped yourself today in the sense of invoke. No. But I think we did see the influence of your burden. Yeah. And I think we did see you address a challenge with aggression or violence. So that's 2 XP for you. Go to Cadoc. You did indeed invoke your calling. Did you choose an alternative to zealous violence? You'll notice that I have tweaked
Yeah,
these,
but I find that a very odd question for a sword of God.
Well, I suppose I'm trying to make it you're not just a killer.
Why not? I mean, that's what I am.
Because courage and face a challenge. That really you were hitting both of them for everything for one thing. So I need to find a way.
That's actually not at all how I've played Cadoc so far. I will never hit that, because that is not the interpretation I got from the Sword of God.
Okay, well I'll leave that where I'll go back to where you were then, for the purpose of this. But I am going to change the Sword of God when we're finished.
Yeah,
because
okay.
I do want him to be more than one-dimensional.
Yes, that is very fine. I should have known about this. I will think about that. Maybe I'll come to an idea
give it some thought.
that makes him less like hit something in the name of God. That is, I understand that is kind of boring, but just not do that is also kind of
okay. So yeah, maybe the 2 I've got now are too similar. Did you choose an alternative to violence, or did you address a challenge with courage? That would.
It says with self-sacrifice. I like that.
No, but would you prefer self-sacrifice? Okay.
Yeah, I find self-sacrifice is really that really speaks to the playbook.
Okay. So let's leave self-sacrifice and have a think about the other one.
Yeah.
So I think there was evidence of self-sacrifice at play here.
Yeah.
And because I've thrown an unexpected change in trigger at you, I think that I'm very happy to hand you another one.
I'm fine with having 2 XP. That's okay. I don't need to. I have I've already had 3 advances. I'm just saying this is like, what? Why?
So Paul, what about Black Gel? You did indeed invoke your lunacy. Did you tell the truth despite the risk of consequences? I'm not sure you've had a chance to do that yet. Have you?
I think on that one it could be. There was a risk of consequence when I told Finn the truth about going forwards. Hold on for us.
No, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. No, I'll give you that one. And yeah, of course you addressed a challenge with irrationality.
I think acting like a horse. I think that's probably the most stupidest thing.
Talking to crows.
Well,
okay, there we go. And then a quick stars and wishes, if that's okay. So let's start. Jose, any stars, any wishes?
Let's see. Paul, I'm loving all the details that you add in, like the screaming lady was great. The dropped body was wonderful. And I love the slapstick battle with the ogre. That was a lot of fun. Stars around that. Sabine, Cadoc's relationship to the divine just gets worse and worse. Now we've got Woden in there too, and I think at some point the gods are going to be in a battle to decide which one punishes you. I'm looking forward to that day. And Alan, thank you so much for, I actually enjoyed the quest. So it was nice to see that dynamic in play, because we hadn't done that before, even though it took up some time, but it was fun to do that and see how that works, and just add something into it. So yeah, I had a great time. No wishes at the top of my right in the front of my mind right now, but if something comes up, I'll mention it.
Fine. I'm glad you enjoyed the quest. I was keen to put something in that just put a bit of not a kind of relaxing approach, but something that wasn't quite as involved as a settlement. A single objective, single location, confront it or solve it, whatever. Paul, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah, you know, I loved Sabine's sort of quest to get a horse back. You know, there's a lot of effort put in with moves to get the horse back. You know, you didn't just abandon it, Sabine, which would have sort of been a hell of a lot easier. So it was nice to see Delilah, you know, full force getting Delilah back. Jose, you know, some really good character scenes. I thought your love letter, you know, was awesome, really well described. That was a beauty to see, really. And I think both you as players, I think we described a really good settlement there. It's a lot easier dealing with zombies, though, isn't it? Once the thing flew off, I found it sort of quite hard. But I think we described something very good and very different there, because you know, hitting things is sort of easy. So it was good to see something other than zombies. And Alan, yeah, I'm going to agree with Jose that I thought the quest was it was not as big as a settlement, but there was still some chunk to it. It did eat up a lot of time, but that doesn't matter. It was good within itself. It wasn't too easy. It wasn't a single roll thing. It was really, I think, bracketed very, very well.
And you end up with the Fae owe you some debts. I mean, you know, that's got to be worth something down the road, hasn't it? And finally, Sabine, any wishes, Paul? Sorry, before I leave you.
No, I think the story's progressing well. No, I don't. Let's see what these locations bring.
Yeah, fine. Sabine, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah, lots of stars, lots of wishes, not so many because this is fun. Stars to yeah, everyone, Jose, for the coming back, and with the whole scene with the wolves, and I really like that. And I always enjoy Black Child wandering somewhere and being weird, like grabbing a raven and trying to talk to it. I like that. I like the quest with the whole ogre and everybody running around. The ghost, the fae, the horse. I got my horse back. Start to the horse.
I have to say, it gave me an immense amount of satisfaction for you to come up with an innocent and then be short a horse. Because I wanted you to have Delilah back. You know,
Yeah.
I just didn't want to have a trot out of the mist.
Yeah.
Any wishes?
I don't. I need to figure out how to get rid of some of my debt to God. I think that I would like to not carry this massive thing around with me, because I'm always feeling like I'm always at a disadvantage. I can never get rid of my temptations, which puts a serious crank into my ability to face danger or face a challenge. So yeah, I would.
Well, I mean,
1 point.
You know, if now you're at a settlement, you can seek solace in friendship. You know, the opportunities to get rid of those.
I will do that.
And then maybe top them up again to get rid of a debt.
Yeah, I would try that. So that would be a wish, to have a scene for that. I also hope that we will get David back with Ethan, and see how that, so that I can look at the spelling again. Yeah. So yeah.
Stars from me, really, for the way that you just took to the quest, I have to say, and to all of you, because I think all of you at points today rolled with some really crappy dice rolls. So my thanks for that. And thank you, Paul, particularly for being a one-eyed character seeking to attract corvids. You know, establish. I mean, it's just too good to miss. I was very pleasing indeed. And wishes, yeah. Fingers crossed, David's back with us next time, so we can see Ivan for begin to develop. But for now, is it okay if I post this? Thank you very much. I will stop the recording.